I get asked this question a lot in regard to how much is the price of fabrics. Seriously, I don't know until I've met the client and I've met the personality, I've met the living environment, I've met the color palette of the person, I've met I've met the needs of the person, the structural requirements of what I'm going to produce. I have to work out structurally what's best for them in regard to shape, form, or what style, whether it's French or classic or whether it's contemporary. So you've got to readjust your fabric selection to first of all those items, and then you've got to pop in the personality. Then first and foremost, serviceability. So all these evaluate back into what the cost of the fabrics are. That's what a good designer is. What do you need a designer for? You need to hire a designer because you need somebody that's got that fabric knowledge. You've got to work out, first of all, okay, the purpose of the fabric. You've got to work out when you go to the customer what the needs of the fabric are, the durability, where you're going to push it everyday use. So is it lounging, sitting use, minimal use. You've got also then a factor in the color palettes. Is it damask? What do they like? The serviceability, and you've got a fluctuation in prices depending on the actual requirements of the customer. Generally, what I try to do is push towards viscose or polys or something that's with a very high serviceable use. So generally, look, my record in regard to people coming back to me with problems with fabric, is zero. Most designers, unless they're manufacturing designers, and honestly, there's probably only about 12 of us in the country that can manufacture and design. The situation is they can get themselves in a lot of trouble. Or better still, they're going to get you in a lot of trouble because they don't understand manufacture and design and fabric and what goes where. So viscose polys, I highly recommend, and the look. Structural strength, you've got to know where to put them, how and why. Then we've also got to go into a situation is, why are you paying me for? Well, there's just so many different showrooms, warehouses, different areas with different fabrics. They've only got a limited selection. So you almost got to know, okay, well, this is this type of domestic fabric, which is a French fabric. Where do you go to get them? Where do you need to get them? And the value of them. People say to me, well, the prices fluctuate so much. Well, first of all, I try and stay away from China. And the second word, I try to go into the Belgium and European mills to get the quality fabrics. And then you basically got to then work out, where you're going to put them, why and how, and all the above. People say, well, how come you don't know the price of the fabric? Well, it's a bit like going shopping for clothes or going shopping for a product. Quite often you go into a shop, you don't necessarily know what you're going to buy for that dress or pair of pants or whatever you're going to buy until you actually get there. And you see something quite unique in the rack or something quite unique that really captures your heart and eyes and think, well, that's going to work for me, that's going to work in my home. It's the same sort of thing. You've got to have somebody, a designer that's got good eye skills and a good eye set to select the type of fabric that's going to be right for you and your right situation. What's the price of that? Well, it's pretty much like asking me, next time you go shopping, you see that lovely dress, are you going to know what price it is before you walk up to it? It's almost impossible. Then you've got to evaluate the fabric and the result of the fabric, what it's going to give to you in regard to your room, your emotion in the room, what it's going to deliver in the mood of the room. Then, okay, durability of fabrics. This is why you need a good designer, a manufacturing designer who understands wrapping fabrics around items. There's some fabrics won't wrap. There's some fabrics that won't stitch right. There's some fabrics that's not durable enough. So you need to have somebody that can select the right fabric for you, but understand, will that fabric work for that particular item that I've been selected? So is it going on the classic chair? Is it going onto the modern couch, the shape curve lounge? You've got to have somebody with manufacturing knowledge and fabric knowledge that can bring that intuition and bring that dream back into reality and know the pitfalls. You don't want to buy somebody else's designer dream because I want to be a designer and I need the practice to become designer, and then you're in a mist of whatever else. If you're selecting a designer, you need to understand your fabrics. You need to understand the designer knows his product and you need to know the designer actually knows what they're doing with that particular product. They've got to know, they've got to be a manufacturing designer. No disrespect to the ladies or the gentlemen who aren't a manufacturing designer, but really it is dangerous to pick a fabric and not understand the serviceabilities or the problems when you decide to start making with that fabric. It's just a recipe for disaster. You have to have somebody that's got a great knowledge in that industry. Mark Alexander Design, we've got years of basically manufacturing quality products, the reputation of manufacturing. Why do you need a good designer? Yes, you need a great designer to pick and source those fabrics for that reason. Obviously, when you're picking and sourcing fabrics, pick the cheapest one for sure. Pick it because, you know, that's just sensible. Get the cost of goods down, but certainly pick it so it's going to have the cost of goods down, the lifespan up, the quality in the fabric, the pleasure in the room, and the result that just goes wow, that you love for many years. That's why you need a good designer, and that's why we haven't got any really industry problems with our product, because we do all this work prior to saying, oh, here's a beautiful fabric. You need to know somebody that knows what they're doing. It is a great fluffy industry, but you don't want to get involved with that industry with a person that doesn't understand manufacturing or what that fabric's going to do. Have the emotion in the fabric, but you've got to have the emotion that you can use that fabric to manufacture with. It's such an important part of the whole process. And honestly, there's probably only a handful in this country know how to do it. Mark Alexander Design, we make, manufacture, produce items for you, and this is why we select the fabrics. Well, that's why you need a quality designer who understands industry needs and industry reputation. Thank you.